And we have not been live. So much to talking. 5 minutes to myself. Welcome again, everyone. Hopefully this time live. To another low-level toolchain, Linux bootstrapping, cross-compiling live stream here with our T2 just freaking working and unbroken, otherwise raw and vanilla Linux distribution here. For the recurring subscribers, you might have seen yesterday was adding our targets, missing targets to, like our missing targets to Rustc. Lots of targets. They have strange Rustc arch triplets. But also many ARM targets are missing, like ARM 5TE hard float and ARM version 6, which apparently they just name ARM for some inconsistent reason, and so on and so forth. But with all this, adding that, Rustc started to break. And naturally, of course, yesterday I saw it live on this channel. Why does this break now? Obviously, I didn't expect. Like, I only worked on like this arch triplets and why does it fail now? And thankfully, the only substitute for testing is more testing, and thankfully I tested that, and it broke for ARM64 too, which I built for a test, which previously built. So that didn't make the most sense, and that's also a little bit of muscle memory of remembering what you've done, what it could be. But because the other live stream before that, we just in the middle of like updated here LLVM Clang maintenance release, who wouldn't want to have that? And didn't even think about that much. Usually these maintenance releases don't break something, but now they did, because after some debugging. So the issue is here, as seen yesterday, here in this build, set standard missing of undefined reference. So we could hotfix YOLO clobber over that with just linking with -l set standard, but I don't really want to have this strange solutions all over the place. So why does it break now, right? So it built for months and years here, even in our Linux distribution. And that is the time-wasting stuff of that I and all the other maintainers, right? Think Microsoft's Linux subsystem for Windows, Oracle's broken Linux, everyone in between, the other 1,145 or so hobby Linux distributions. And everyone needs to fix stuff again, right? Because people carelessly break stuff each other and also implement imperfect stuff, right? So the fix that breaks it, here it's a fix. It's a fix. I think from now on we always fix in quotes, because so after a lot of debugging and continuous integration, bisecting and stuff, like LLVM is broken now. And so how did they break this? They added here set standard. So added missing. So basically they fixed their missing LLVM enable set standard. I guess, can we click on that? Hey, we can click on that. Wait, is that all of that? That cannot be. Wait a second. This cannot be all of the commits. There must be something wrong. That is strange. What? This is needed to ensure substitution of site config pi. What the heck? I'm surprised that that is a diff, because I diffed this here locally, and diffed it here locally, and there is more. So I'm actually surprised. It is of course that one, but it's of course that one. Hello. There is also a new they added in the CMake modules. That is why I'm surprised. Find set standard. So I'm not sure why clicking on that doesn't reveal that, but maybe that is another change. So what is happening now is they added here this find set standard. So previously this issue didn't occur because they simply didn't build with set standard. Now they had code which was never enabled because it's fast. I mean, I didn't review each code, but so basically my summaries, as far as I've seen, the code in other submodules of handling set standard compression for binary, bitcode and stuff, optimizing probably LTO results and stuff, basically LTO optimized bytecode, to compress that with set standard. Why is the should this not be? Why is this so? Because surely not sure what it was with maybe Control C stops the less. pipe. So I'm not entirely sure where they include that, or that is a little bit strange. Just adding the CMake module, or is it then maybe the use of that is also in Clang? Or do I overlook that, or does it include all? In any way, in whatever way they maybe they just include all modules automatically in their CMake modules. But long story short, this change and or this Clang obviously causes that. I'm also surprised. I mean, theoretically, this should be the .so should be, or is it the .so? We can actually double check that. So long story short, I just explained it to you, right? My recurring. So why is software development so expensive? So I wonder. So there is so much wrong with it, right? Except like the frustration of every day you build, like every day you waste an hour. I mean, imagine how this adds up. Like, let's do. We have here. Let's not like use Spotlight search. Let's edit. Finds here confidential documents. Imagine each, like on average, maybe an hour a day I fix issues, right? For the last an hour a day, let's be generous and only 5 days, although often I work on weekends, as you see right now. 52 weeks, right? Something of that sort. Let's be generous and give me some holiday. Let's call this 50. That's already, if this looks looks about to be right. So 200, like a rough estimate. Why I'm getting away at times a little bit frustrated and negative. Like imagine you waste, sure, you get open source for free, yada, yada, yada. Yes, this mega corporation, other people, they write amazing source code. Okay. But I mean, I'm also not getting really paid much. Also, there is a new GoFundMe, right, for all this Firefox stuff. But imagine how this is adding up. And not only at me, also like Oracle's Broken Linux, IBM's Red Hat flavor and stuff, and multiply that with 25 years I do this, right? This is like 6,250 hours for sure. I mean, obviously, some of these estimates are off. I usually work more than 5 days a week, and often I spend more than 1 hour fixing bullshit. But yeah, tens thousands of hours. I mean, often I live stream here 2 hours or 3, right? Not to mention of 6 and 7 hours KDE and GNOME Monster update live streams. But like thinking about that, I would be millionaire like Elon Musk or stuff if I wouldn't like for a quarter century donate so many hours of fixing open source stuff for trivial stuff, right? For absolute the most trivial beginner configure stuff. I will not spend even more time trying to fix this somehow nice. I will probably simply disable that, which is not ideal, which we probably should commit with a to-do. The better thing would be, the thing is always, like, I also have to still find out what's slightly wrong with Firefox, XPCOM startup stuff there, and Xterms fixed fonts. Let's maybe give it some minutes of. Yeah, and also there I updated the Go fund me. Do we still find it? Previously I had a P3 GoFundMe thing. I changed it. Is this hey, they actually have some automagic translation. So the 169 euro you also see from that I can also not really finish the PS3 RSX stuff, right? Why I'm basically asking to share, like, and subscribe. This YouTube stuff does not yet explode. Certainly with my boring, just fixing trivial bugs every day YouTube content. Certainly not killing it. I probably should do some live gaming here on a Steam Deck or so. But yeah, if you can donate some bucks, that would be amazing, because I more and more realize I spend way too much freaking time fixing everything in the industry. It is ridiculous. Cheers. So what should happen here is I don't know. Maybe they don't link with L set standard. Maybe it's a cross compile marginality. Why does don't tell me I don't click that. Why is? But yeah, and the crazy thing is very few people, I mean, not even Linus Torvalds himself donates so much time, right, for all of his lessons. The crazy stuff is Linus Torvalds get paid $1 million a year, which sure he should deserve. But all the grassroots movement of small companies and students, hobbyists and stuff, they work day and night keeping the open source ecosystem alive and thriving. Often even being thrown sticks between the legs from big mega corporations of like, you're patching it wrong, you're submitting it wrong, your white spacing is wrong, or please refactor it, because while you are at it, please refactor it, or all the other silly reasons. But yeah. And the craziest thing is I'm not even enjoying this code the most, right? In my opinion, this is not the highest quality. As outstanding as that's the crazy stuff, right? LLVM and Rust are the best things the open source industry or even commercial proprietary compiler industry created. And everywhere where I look, especially in the Rust, but even LLVM, so much hard-coded stuff, Rust 2, all these target definitions, and finding so much crazy code that never should have been written like that. And I sit here month after month fixing just that when after 25 years I can't even see it anymore. I understand most people don't want to hear negative stuff, but I wish there would be more people who would say this is not how we write code, this is not how it should be written. Sure, there is this rust of making the stuff better, but ironically, I get it. I totally for 20 years wanted more memory safe stuff. And wrote better C++ than mediocre C code for 20 years already. But more people should, like with C, like we pointing out this is not like how quality stuff is done, and pointing it out. But anyway, here we are fighting windmills. We can quickly check if so this is. Where would it be? Or is it, maybe it's what LVM thinks, so that probably, or not, I mean, I don't know the LLVM, actually it's not directly LVM, so I would say LVM config should spit that out. So what happens here is, I don't know what they link in, but they sure need that. We can actually check what files we have for LVM. Usually we prefer shared objects, but they had a major performance impact. Yeah, so probably the issue is that we have this stuff as also, yeah, static libraries. I usually hate static libraries with a passion. The only reason we have done that is, so basically we have an all lib LVM shared, and then for stuff linking in partial stuff, the static archives, I benchmarked that. The problem is that I tried to have shared objects from all of that, and there is like an enable shared option. The problem is that that was freaking slow. I had a video. So this LVM, I think it was like, if you have an all shared object LVM, I think it was like twice as slow. And so probably because it's linking some of those files, we get that. I don't know each detail of LVM. I would naturally think LVM config should spit that out if it builds with set standard to spit that out. Shared objects, I mean, it's also so low tech, right? This is also why I still would want to JIT everything. Theoretically, we could WebAssembly everything nowadays, but this is so low tech, right? It's basically software development like in the 70s, of like static object archives, and it's like you're on your own instead of having their, I mean, ironically in exact image, because I had the problem, I mean, so shared objects would have that encoding, right, of dependent library of lib set standard. In what I actually do in exact image, our image open source image processing stuff, I link actually this stuff together. What you can do and nearly nobody does is linking objects together to an object. The benefit of that is, which is, there's some crazy command line arguments for that. The reason I do that in exact image is because if you link, I use constructors. So like I use, how do you call it, singleton or so? I use like singleton objects as an object factory for the image codecs in exact image. Theoretically, I should use it for more, but anyway. So the problem was like the natural trivial thing of linking all the C++ objects together into the application does not run these constructors, right? These init methods of objects, initialization objects of methods. And so I found by like 15 years ago already, right? So like I was archiving all this stuff, linking all this stuff, and then your singleton object, static object instances are not there, right? Because they're not used. Hilarious, right? And that is how I found, like, if I use GNU-LD of linking all this stuff together with whatever is set option something, I could actually theoretically could look, but anyway. So you can link this into objects, and I mean, it would have been totally trivially possible to encode additional informations into archives or objects of like, this is compiled and needs that and that, like library dependencies and stuff, but yeah. We still YOLO stuff together with custom -config binaries. So how do we do this? I think the sets, and I was not missing it. So I think I work around this by simply disabling that. And long story. So I of course, I mean, it took me like an hour or even nearly two to, as usual, right? This is just a summary. Sometimes a live stream that for an hour or two, which at times is too boring, and at times even makes me look like a fool because I'm like randomly poking around in random stuff to figure out what's actually freaking going on. But it's probably also more interesting to you to get a 20-minute, like 10 to 20-minute summary. But it's just to provide some context, right? If I just say that is low quality, but it's not something like, who would believe that, right? There needs to be some surrounding arguments for that case to understand this better. But it's like, yeah, obviously, like just disabling that would be 5 minutes. So I think for today I just disable that here because I want to release T2 eventually, like somewhere between now and forever. And my to-do is, and recurrently, right, as fast as I fix issues, my to-do keeps growing. The only constant is change and my growing to-do. It is, yeah, it is at times a little bit frustrating. Where do we have? Here we have some stuff, config stuff. Long story short, 20-minute summary. Like off to do .a need I don't know, maybe we leave it disabled. So in my theory, so we built that, so we need the native, let me just think, it probably should be 1 LLVM. Yeah. But yeah, 2022, the smallest stable release patches break your Rust bootstrap. I wonder if Mesa also breaks. Also, maybe Mesa doesn't break if they don't use a static library, like it's dealing with LLVM bytecode. So maybe, I don't think Mesa did break, so that would be rusting. It is also silly that, as I mentioned some minutes ago, we don't build chat objects because they are like for everything else, but due to the nature of this massive code base that is LVM, like twice, or like 100% slower, or like twice as, half as fast or twice as slow, or however you want to call it. So we have, that takes 4 minutes or so. If I would have been more clever, I could have run that already, but it's not like we are more clever here. So external funds. So the problem is I don't have X forwarding from the Ryzen as I'm live streaming from this ARM ARM64 stuff. You probably also wanted that larger, don't you? Yeah, which password should I use there? It's this one. So is this also a bug in Blackbox or set X comp manager? It's like, it's not transparent until you resize it. This bug is there for 15 years. I'm not debugging that, but I will write soon a microkernel with transparent compose setting window manager. So that's where I thought is the audio a little bit. Do we need to maybe make this louder? Right, I thought actually that's maybe not the most clever thing to do that live. So I really hate the latest. Where's even, so I scrolled, why do I hate this control center? Because I scrolled 2 times over it, and could also do that live here. Where the heck is audio? Like the previous one degraded over the years, and the new one. And that is why I don't like it. Is there no freaking audio? Sound, hello, screen paper displays. Ah, here's sound. Well, why is audio not with this display stuff? Output, input, check 1, 2, 3. It's not the most. Check 1, 2. Probably. No, all the headphone users cry. Yeah, not sure if, I mean, this stuff could be more interesting. I wonder if, there's also, I don't even have Xterm here. Is this even, you know what, I don't. Here I have the problem that I don't have a proper mouse click. Did I? Apple's so poor they even have on mouse buttons. Nothing we can't fix with a proper USB-C keyboard. Built here live previously on the main channel. You know what? USB. Brave new USB world. Got no USB-C. Is that not amazing? Never have enough USB cables here. Just for freaking right click. But yeah, the problem is with too many systems, and you want to debug something, and then does it occur on the system? Or is this just a, oh darn, don't tell me that is a power only cable. You know what, live on this channel, this Mac save copy USB-C cable thing. Hello? Nothing like plugging out the freaking microphone. Oh man, okay, that is a power only cable, that is good to know. Find that also. Okay, so LVM build, then let's continue that build. Oh, wait a second. Ah, this is theoretically, we also want that with 4 while we are at it. Somewhere I had another USB cable. Where is that now? Yeah. Okay. Something we can't solve with our keyboard because we don't have too many freaking USB cables on the table. Ah, brave new IT Vault. So ARM5 TE. Yeah, so basically maybe I continue offline. I'm maybe not in the mood enough to, after so much nonsense. But leave in the comments below how much. Yeah, let's maybe keep this focused. It's really a pity. I mean, besides macOS peak bugs and not amazing software here, otherwise this Apple Macs, as much as I hate giving Apple money, it's of course fast and energy efficient ARM stuff, but then this stupid stuff like no freaking mouse buttons. Do we not have tab for multiple clicks here? But maybe not for, wait a second, do we have 2 tab? I lose overview of bloody... did I not enable tab? Shit. At least, I don't know, I have real problems with these preferences here. This is, I agree with other designers that this is a usability nightmare. At least with this, I mean, this previous icon array became a little bit overcrowded, but now like, the problem is with this shit, where to find it, right? You need to read it really slowly. I wanted to, what did I want? I wanted mouse and, oh, here's trackpad. Do they not have, but it is with tap or click with 2 fingers. I mean, not only you don't get somehow that doesn't work the most amazing with QEMU. Oh wait, did I even, was it the wrong, you know, this might have been the wrong, simply the wrong. Oh, there it is. What a fight to get a bloody context menu. But it always was like this on Mac since they had only 1 mouse button. So yeah, here we have the same issue on this old installation. That is what we still know. I forgot actually what I clicked to. Okay, it's like that. Yeah, I think I should debug that more on my new install. I'm not really feeling like messing on this ARM install now. Yeah, let me do off-screen efficiently, although more people tune in, which is always amazing. Welcome everyone. Use the search. Ah, yeah, the search, yeah. That is true, which I usually do, but I wanted to illustrate how annoying it is to find their stuff, unless you argue that. Let me, how do we do this best? I mean, I could debug that here on this VM, which might not be the most inconvenient thing to do. The only thing is, nah. I always hate to stop live streams when we are just in the middle of getting some more views. So the last time I saw And by the way, I wonder, no, I would need to rsync that. You know, oh, by the way, this is a slightly older T2 ARM installation. What, I don't have readelf? Oh, there's readelf. Why do we not have... More interesting, not sure why we don't have any ABI nodes. Interesting. Yeah, I think I better do this. Actually, it's building probably no longer. It probably proves the point here for Rust. Yeah, I think I better do that on the Ryzen where I have the latest T2 install. And yeah, Firefox though, so I should test those binaries. Do I even have a complete build already after deleting it so often? Apparently not. Okay, then I also don't need to rsync that. By the way, how far is my... Maybe that... I said right, did I save the other build? Okay, apparently not. Need to build the two to test. Yeah, this was it? Alright, this is slightly older. I think I just stopped it last night because I wanted to sleep. And I didn't want to hear the fan of this. So yeah. So then final builds, and even with all of the stuff, I still need to rebuild LLVM Clang for all architectures if I wanted to have a really complete build with the latest and greatest Rust and LLVM Clang versions everywhere. So yeah, that's it for this video. We solved another build marginality mystery. I hope you learned something, especially that all this stuff constantly breaks upstream, even if you maintain this with the best due diligence, more testing, and so on. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe. Maybe Patreon or GoFundMe to support all this endeavor here. And I hope you learned something and have a good day and night.